now proceed to our next panelist who would be presenting on the second theme of today's webinar, which is scaling up and achieving sustainability for business in the Gambia. And this will be presented by Mrs. Fatou Sein Gay. Please take the platform, Mrs. Gay.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon in the Gambia. It happens that I'm in the US. Good morning here. Um, Thank you so much for the opportunity that is given. Salu, thank you for recognizing me and then inviting me to this important webinar. I've listened to Yahya and I was so impressed about his speech on leadership. The Gambia Center for Research and Policy Studies is doing a great job in bringing potential people to talk to the masses and then share experiences and thoughts. I'm also really pleased to meet Lang. I've worked with Lang Sanang for some time and he's been a mentor. Lang, I greet you. Mr. Sise, thank you for leading this important seminar. The topic today
Welcome.
is talking about disruptive thinking and innovation in the Gambia, in the Gambia's organization. Breaking away from the established habits and mindsets. Our mindsets we start with is our problem. We have mindset problems, and that is what leads us to most of the things that we do and don't do in the right way. But we have human capitals in the Gambia, and we have people with innovative minds, and we just need the push to move to the next level. What I would like to start with is the time to innovate is now. Disruptive innovation, redesigning an expensive, inaccessible product to make it affordable and accessible to the masses. That is to everyone, must have access to what we need because we know that we live in a world of technology and competition is very stiff wherever we are. So if we do not innovate and create, we'll be left behind in the market. We started, computers were very expensive before. People couldn't have access to technology. But now it has moved from the mainframe cost of a lot of dollars that people cannot afford, but only government could have afforded that. And now it has now moved from the mainframe to the midframe to desktops to smartphones to smartwatches, and now it's accessible to everybody. So it's just for us to think outside of the box, have a creative mind of being an entrepreneur in order to have a competitive edge in a market, in order to be able to operate. So now I would like to start with what people have to think that we cannot just do what we want. We cannot do a supply to the market, but we rather do a demand to the market. We must listen to our customers. We must know who we serve. We must know who our customers are in order to give them what they want and then stand out in the market. And that will give us also sustainability. If we wanted to sustain, we have to accelerate. We have to be digitally driven, meaning now whatever people do, it's easy for us today to come together, have a seminar online virtually. Before it wasn't possible, but like I said, now it's accessible to everybody. That is why this is happening today. We need to have a customer company, meaning the companies we have are not ours. We are not serving ourselves. We're not giving people what we want, but we rather giving them what is demanded from them. So we must know our persona. In order to know our persona, we must do a research of whoever wants our products and services, where we're selling, who we're selling to, and also we must know their spending power. We cannot just sell to people when we don't know their spending power and what they can afford from us. So when we know our persona, then it will be very easy to prototype a product that is needed by them. So they must like the product and appreciate them before we give it to them. So if we know what they want, where they are, their behaviors, their way of life, then it will be easy to penetrate their markets. Innovation is not difficult. It's something that we do gradually. Every day we innovate in our lives in order to have a competitive edge. We have to have a creative mind, be ready to accept feedbacks and work on them. Those feedbacks, I believe, are gestures of goodwill. So if anybody gives you a feedback, the person wanted to see your growth. And if you accept those feedbacks, work on them, that will help you also to mitigate the risks that might come through in your business. Be able to increase, unleash the potentials of your employees. How can you do that? Give them chances to attend workshops, to be creative, listen to them. We do not give opportunities to our employees. We thought that we are the boss, like Yahya was saying. Sometimes bosses just take the lead and wanted to do everything themselves. But even the cleaner in an office is very important. Your number one customer are your staff because they see what you don't see and they talk to people that you don't talk to because they're in the front line. Whoever comes in the organization sees the employer's force before they come and see the leader, to come and see the boss in the organization. So it is important for that leader to have the right and also give those people the opportunity to act on the business and make the business grow. So this is culture in the Gambia that I am the leader and I'll take everything by myself. I'll do whatever I want to do. But I believe we also have to give our employees the right to opine so that they can come up with ideas, with meaningful ideas that we can use to add value to our work and then to grow and also satisfy our customers. For businesses to be sustained, we have to enable people with the right skills. If you're doing something in business, you must have the skills to do it. You must be passionate about what you want to do. That will give you the push to add more value. That will make you be ready to go out, to read more books on different topics that doesn't even relate to your business, but that can give you an idea of what to do for other people that you might meet. We must brainstorm all the time. Engage your customers, engage your employees, and brainstorm over certain things that you put in. Even if you want to add value, engage whoever is responsible in that organization so that you can add value together and let every comment that comes in be a valuable point that they might give them the chance to opine, to talk about what leads them to the comments they bring in and how that can add value to what you do. Innovation is 1% of inspiration and 99% of perspiration. You can have an idea, a very beautiful idea, but if you sit on that idea and you don't do anything about the idea, it will perish in your mind. And maybe somebody else takes it and then we started saying, that's my copy. He copies what I wanted to do. But were you ready to do it? Did you take the actions to do it? We have beautiful ideas, but we must act on them. Entrepreneurs do act. They don't just talk about things, but whatever they want to do, they act. But before they act, they look at the risks around them and calculate the risks very well. We know that we cannot eliminate all risks. We cannot. It's so difficult to eliminate all risks. But we'll take the minimum risks available so that when anything happens, then we'll still get out of it with something that can maintain us to stay in business and sustain what we have. We must try to we must learn as entrepreneurs that we do not only sit in our corner and wait for anything that comes in and say it's good for us. We have to visit places, go around and see what is happening, accept the feedbacks that we see, learn from other people, add value. Sam Walton is one of the biggest entrepreneurs in the US. And he said, whatever I've done in life, I've copied. But whenever I copy, I add value to it. So he is making a difference. Making a difference in a sense that he's not copying what people do and just do it again, but copy and also add value to what he was doing. And that is what gives him a competitive edge. Wherever you go, you see a Walmart in the US, and it's still growing. Let's calculate risks. Have a critical mind of thinking. When we have a critical mind of thinking, it doesn't also stop with us. We have to make sure we engage whoever should be involved and listen to them, add value to whatever each and everyone said, put it together, and then that can also support us. Breaking the paradigm. We have to break the paradigm because before what used to happen and now is totally different. We live in a digital world. We have to accept that. We live in a world that is so quick that technology is moving us every day. And with technology moving us, adding value to what we do, we must be very curious to know what is happening around us. And that will give us a competitive edge. Attend workshops, travel to expos, reading books that are different from your field. but that gives you more insight of what you wanted to do. I made it to myself that every morning I wake up, I will read a state story, and that gives me an added value of what I would like to do. I read different TED stories. I don't only read on entrepreneurship, but I read on different walks of life that will also add value to who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. Let us learn to be very efficient as entrepreneurs because if you're efficient, you're very conscious about time, you're very conscious about money, you're very conscious about the quality that you give to people. If you said, I can give the best to every entrepreneur, I do quality in everything I do, but I deliver late, then the quality is useless. Let us be very conscious about time. Let us be very loyal to our customers. This is what we said to you, and this is what we will deliver. But this is what I said to you, but I'll do it to the best of my ability, but I can give it to you at any time that I want. Then you're not doing the right thing. If we said that our customers are the ones that give us what we need, we must respect them to the utmost. Right? Um, for me, I believe in the Gambia, our problem is to create. We copy a lot, but we do not add value to what we copy from. It's good to copy, like I said. I also copy a lot from people, but when I do, I add value to it. I also look at things that are around me and said whether it will be needed and then add value to it to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. What I worked on is waste to add. I said to myself, whatever I see that is wasted, how can we add value to it to make it useful? Now look at mangoes in the country. You see mangoes everywhere. Where are the agriculturists? What are we doing? When are we going to dry these mangoes and export them and make better money out of it? When I do entrepreneurship training for farmers, I tell them, why do we always grow tomatoes at the same time? Why do we always grow pepper or vegetables at the same time? And it all goes to the market at the same time with the lowest value of money. When you've worked so hard every day going to the garden to water those gardens, because they do not see the efforts that they put in. They are not taught how to manage their money. They are not taught on goal setting. They are not taught on they're not taught on how to increase their capacity and have sustainability plans. If you're an agriculturist, you can grow tomatoes and also transform them, add value to them, make it tomato paste. You can have onions, add value to them. Mangoes, you can add value to them. Do mango chop mix or do chips or dry them and export them. These are things that we also have to support our entrepreneurs so that they can have sustainability plans. Because without this, they cannot sustain themselves. So the Gambia government, I think, have to add more value in supporting the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Because entrepreneurs are the drivers and movers of any given economy. Anywhere you go, entrepreneurs are the ones that pay taxes, they're the contractors, they're the builders, they're the innovators, they're the creators, they're the leaders in our economy. They contribute a lot to any given economy. So we must look back and see how best we can support them immensely, give them the learnings that they need to be able to sustain their businesses. Because if entrepreneurs thrive, then a country will be economically stable. So I believe we have to give that foresight to entrepreneurs and give them more chance to do the right thing. And also believe that the market is not a
Mr.
supply
Sengay,
market, but a demand driven market.
if you could kindly wrap up in 1 minute, time is up.
Thank you. Yes, I think I was just wrapping up as well. Like I said, if entrepreneurs are given the chance to opine and given the right skills, the techniques, and the methods to do what they have to do, then we'll have an economically strong country, which I know it's visible in the Gambia. And all what we have to do right now is to support them and help them in the innovation strive that they can also have the ability to sustain whatever they do. Because businesses start and close. You hardly see a business that is in operation for 10 years in the Gambia. Very rare because of the challenges that they face. But I believe if they can innovate and know that the market is not for what they want to give, but what people rather want to have, then we'll have an economically stable country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation indeed. Again, really appreciate this. Uh, there are some very, very important points that you brought out. if we do not innovate and create, we will be left behind. Indeed, profound. I hope that our policymakers are indeed listening to this and considering this in our development roadmap. You know, your message basically, I have taken a lot of very interesting notes, but given we don't have much time, I'm not able to go through most of them. But for me, what really comes out of all of this is that innovation is the lifeblood of development and growth, and the lack of it is a recipe for stagnation in absolute terms and retrogression, at least in relative terms. It's very, very important that every nation that aspires to grow and develop takes innovation very, very seriously. So, my first question to you, Madam Sengay, is innovation is something that is central to national development. Therefore, there needs to be a deliberate national effort to promote entrepreneurship and innovation. In this regard, if you could kindly give us a recipe, according to you, a recipe that we could use to create an ecosystem that supports a sustainable business environment in the Gambia, or development of any sustainable business in the Gambia.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cisse. Like I said, we must know who we serve. We must have a persona in everything that we do. Know where they're from, what they do, and their purchasing power as well. We have to know before we just give them. We must have a market that is a driven market, but not a supply market. I've seen now people talk a lot about innovation, mentoring, coaching, but this is the right way to go about right now. Government is investing, and even NGOs like or the projects that comes in, they invest heavily on mentorship and coaching, which I think is very key for us. Because Gambians, we hardly accept feedbacks, but that is the sole way for us to grow. Because if you do not accept feedbacks, you cannot add value to what is happening. If you do not listen to what people want, you cannot just give them what you just need. I've seen a project with the USEP, the GCCI, then the USEP now. They're trying to open an innovation lab. And also, I've seen Africell partnering with the Disruptive Hub to also add value with entrepreneurs on innovation and technology. So now I think we've started doing that. But it has to be more and more need to come up so that we can have a vibrant economy that will lead with innovation. Without innovation, we are not going anywhere. We must innovate to break the barriers. We must innovate to break the paradigm. We must innovate to get into the myths and break the myths. And also the culture, the norms and our values are something that we respect and we inculcate. But we must also try to learn, at least sometimes break those barriers, think outside of the box and add more value to what we do. Thank you.
Without innovation, we are not moving anywhere. We need to break barriers. Indeed, innovation calls for this, and that is why our topic for today is absolutely interesting. Mr. Lang Sanyang, would you like to weigh in with some questions on the topic, which again is another topic that deserves a full seminar? Mr. Sanyang, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Sengay. Uh, I think this is an order fulfillment. Having met with colleagues again, uh, as I'm supposed to ask Madam Gay one question. My question goes like this. You've talked about scaling up of businesses to achieve sustainability. But what I have not heard from your presentation is in the process of scaling up businesses, what, in your opinion, or what considerations, in your opinion, should entrepreneurs make to ensure sustainable economic and environmental growth?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lang. Um, in scaling of a business, I believe that entrepreneurs, like I said before, we do not we always copy, but we do not add value to what we copied from. And when you do not add value, others add value, and you're left behind. So we have to have a culture of adding value. We have to have a culture of innovating and thinking outside of the box. That is the only way that we can break through and do things that people are not doing and have a competitive edge in whatever we do. That's what I believed in. I've seen entrepreneurs in the Gambia. They there's I think they're scared of investing. They're scared of looking for new things or adding value. But if they do, they can sustain businesses because I've seen just committed people in the Gambia that do business, and I've seen another way that people do business in the Gambia that now I'm hopeful that businesses can grow in a different form. The way that people are hungry to get businesses and add value to it and grow it to the next level, it's really happening. I would like to commend the projects, especially the year project that came in and supported some young people. When you see these young people doing poultry, you see them adding value all the way. There is a value chain, and they follow this value chain. Before, it's just like had the birds, grow the birds, and sell them. But now they will kill those birds, they will rear the birds, kill them, and sell them, package them, dress them very well. That is all adding value. They will portion them in different portions, and that is also added value. What I've also said on agriculture, we have seen a lot of losses in agriculture. We didn't see much in sustainability. They always produce at the same time, sell at the same time. But if they have a culture of when it's raining, I will grow tomatoes. I've met somebody in Tangi, and I was doing a business plan for this guy. He grows tomatoes during the rainy season. And when I asked him, he said, this is the way of sustainability for me. If I wanted to grow tomatoes the same time that everybody grows it, I have a minimum profit. But if I wanted to grow it when nobody is doing it, then I can sell at a very higher price and also sell to hotels, and that will give me a great margin and give me sustainability. And that can also add value for me to grow other things at different times and also make me save and invest. So I think this is the mindset that people must have in order to sustain in their businesses. Thank you, Lan.
Thank you very much, Madam Gay. As we wrap up this uh, session or this particular presentation, I really want to leave the audience with a few statements that I've heard from this presentation that I believe are quite profound. The first of which we need to remember, even if we set policies for our nation's development, is if we do not innovate and create, we will be left behind. Innovation is not difficult. It is something that we gradually do, and that is incremental innovation. Thank you very much for reminding us of this. For business to be sustained, we must enable people with the right skills. Indeed, profound and very important in our national development discourse. Innovation is 1% inspirational and 99% perspiration. Indeed, profound. And as innovators, we must be proactive and insist on adding value and ensuring efficiency and reliability. Indeed, this is very, very important in everything that we do. But if we want to sustain our development and businesses that we create, this is absolutely essential. And finally, as entrepreneurs, uh, we are the drivers and movers of our economy, and that value needs to be recognized and therefore supported appropriately and adequately. Once again, thank you very much, Madam Singay, for this very interesting discussion.